What can municipalities and local governments do to turn community shame into community pride?
Boy, it's incredible. You know, it is so wonderful to be a part of a city that has a lot of pride. In all aspects, I think Austin, Texas talks ad nauseum about how great we are in food and fitness and, you know, trails and architecture. But there are, of course, communities that don't feel the same way. And it's probably easy to start thinking about Rust Belt cities in the Northeast or in the Midwest. You know, Scranton, Pennsylvania is a great example of a city that has some difficulty. Scranton is often associated with a little bit of a smile, a little bit of a wink. You know, when Joe Biden was running for office and would talk so often about being from Scranton, Saturday Night Live certainly took a lot of shots at making fun of Scranton. There's a TV show on now, you know, sometimes makes a little bit of fun of the fact that they're in Scranton, Pennsylvania. My whole family's from Scranton. When they came here from Ireland, they went straight to Scranton, and a lot of my family still lives there, and I love it. But what's sad is because of the state of the economy, folks don't really view Scranton as a place to be, you know, a place to go visit. But Scranton does have wonderful attributes to it. It does have a TV show that is being shot about it right now. And if you visit the Steamtown Mall in Scranton, Pennsylvania, it's almost impossible to find office paraphernalia. Paraphernalia that says the office, you know, cups and T-shirts and, you know, that sort of thing to bring back to your family. And folks in Scranton, the responses I would get is they didn't think anybody would want anything like that. I also looked around for swag that said Scranton. So you know, my parents visited Scranton and all I got was a T-shirt. You know, the Scranton of the Electric City mug. And it was practically impossible to find those sorts of things. And again, the response I got was, we don't think people would want anything like that. It's less about the fact that they don't have that sort of paraphernalia and more about the fact that they don't think anybody would want that. That's the real core of the problem. I think that a retail economist, you know, a city planning economist may say, hey, why don't you just take a city-owned property or some other opportunity to build a little property and have an office museum, an office mall, an office/visitor center. Because if you're driving through that area, I think it would be really neat to stop and take a picture of the Dunder Mifflin building, you know, the Scranton Paper building with your Dunder Mifflin T-shirts and make a little bit of money, and you know, maybe you start seeing the tourism come back at that point.